Hello, hello, Imaginary Villain here, and it's time to get down to some more UE action. Guess I'll actually make it a little more visible here. I was playing with the procedural generations, and it's so dark in the editor. It's so weird. You just look at it, and it's bizarre and weird, but then if you actually load it up, play the game, it's actually super visible, and would probably be about the right thing for the game. Yeah, I'm playing with procedural generation, and all these trees and grass and everything you see is procedurally generated. Also, the water looks really cool at night. I was going to make it dark, but I'm just going to leave it all bright because it's just more fanciful, which I think fits the game's style a little better. Fortunately, the procedural generation is also really, 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 really heavy. If you see how many things that spawned, I mean, like, all these things here, inside this, were all spawned by procedural generation. So is this one. They're actually using the same grid thing too, but you just move it and it's like, it does different ones now. Instead, it just moves it around. It's like a whole map. It's just crazy. So. Probably turned down the lightning thing though. I turned it up to try to get a lightning strike in the for the thumbnail, and then didn't even use it because they really weren't that visible. Oh, it's under this one. We'll just go back to normal. It doesn't need to strike every 5 seconds. To be honest, I might just turn off the rain for purposes of this. Because every time you go to click, this happens, where you can get the rain click and it just does this who knows what thing going on. It's just hard to look at. But if I just do, honestly, you get about the same lighting with cloudy, so I just do cloudy and that's good enough. Prepping the shaders, I guess I've never selected cloudy before. I made the moon huge even though it's daytime. For some reason it's still visible. I guess it is really close to the place. But you can see just how many things it added in. I repurposed one of their grids, so this procedural generation thingy is full of things I don't understand. So this is weirdly very loud in my ears. That is not the right one. This is it. I guess 5.3 is going to come out, and it's going to just completely revamp these and make them even better, but I just took theirs and repurposed it like crazy, and it's like, yep, no problem. But yeah, they made this grid, and I'm just like, okay. All I did was go through these static mesh things and just add in all my own ones, and then I think I move this around. You just change these numbers a bit, and it spaces them out more. And that's kind of all I did with it. I don't understand half of that yet. I will learn, but eh. Hey, Mike, how's it going? I was just showing how I did the procedural generation stuff. You see all these trees and everything that are around here? Like, it just puts them all here, and I didn't have to do anything. Like, if I move this thing, say like over here, and now it spawns them around here and just attaches them all to the ground too. So I don't even have to do anything. It's just there. There's all this crazy system for it that I don't understand at all, and I'm kind of playing around with it, but probably not going to mess with it too quickly. But it does mean that I don't have to sit there and place individual foliage. I have some dungeon generating projects where they just make the thing for you. But technically you could generate a dungeon with it because it can position anything. Hey Mathis, how's it going? So I mean, you could easily just do all that. The thing I want to be able to do is I wanted to be able to randomly place the negative boxes for those for the geometry stuff, because what you could do is have a giant cube that's an additive geometry, and then you have, whenever a negative box intersects it, it cuts that hole out of it. So if you could randomly place them, you could actually create all these tunnels inside of something, which would be really cool. Really, I mean, all this grass and everything's randomly placed, the trees, the boulders, everything. The grass on the boulders. It's just wild. And granted, some of it's really stupidly placed, but I mean, not gonna lie, it's if you don't like where they're placed, I mean, it's just so easy to go, oh look, I'll just move it, and now they're in all new locations. So it is very fast. Yeah. Well, the negative thingy I was using, like you can see, this is in fact an additive box. All of these are. And you can see this cutout here is a negative box. I'm going to shrink the negative box a little bit here because I don't think it needs to be that big. You see, if I shrink it, look, now it doesn't cut through the box as much there. So if I do this, it cuts through part way. So you get to where you want, see? Hey Dina, how's it going? And yeah, so you just take these and you just drag it over here, and you can just cut little alcoves in there. So how cool would that be if you could actually make it so that these are... Apparently, yeah. Have a whole crew's pretty good. Yeah, so I mean, you just do that, and then you can, let's see, we'll get this texture because I don't want to locate the other. Select all adjacent surfaces, and then we'll just use... Get rid of those there. Now it has the interior texture too. Speaking of which, I can fix this one too. Actually, I'm going to get all the adjacent thingies too while I'm at it. The main purpose of this is actually to lay out levels and the like. And then you're supposed to replace them with other things later, but see, that's also people who have this thing called a lot of like money and things, and I don't really necessarily have a lot of money, so not for this. Yeah, you just do that, and each of these is unfortunately a separate one, so I would have to do this here. But what I could have done was just make this one giant negative box inside here, and I could have just had one big container, which would have been probably better, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. Mostly it's just serving as an end goal. Yeah. I figure I'll probably have some sort of version of the attic here and some version down there. So by the time you get to the end of this, it'll be like some portion of the level, and then there'll be a teleporter to the next area. You don't, I don't have to put the whole game on one map. Because, well, I know UE is really efficient and all, but I don't think you need to do that. That seems a little ridiculous. I just lock these. I don't want to not lock it for some reason. Oh, hi Lippus, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. Saying hi. You can see these cool negative boxes that I'm playing with to mess around with the geometry. So I was just talking about how cool it would be to, you know, be able to just randomly place these as part of the procedural generation. Make two of them here. And get all crazy and mathematical here. I'd probably just do like an alcove for some reason up there. Not move it that way. Guess I can control Z that, whatever. Or I just do something like this and move it down. You actually make a step that way too. Oh yeah, I redid her animation for her thing now, so she actually steps back and fires things. Should have made her arm fly out more than it did, which is kind of not the best on my part. Also, it looks like she steps really close, which is really bizarre to me, even though in the animation it shouldn't be that close at all, but whatever. That reminds me, I tweaked with the camera a bunch. And I do not like where I put it. I've been in an argument with myself on exactly where I want the camera to be. A lot of it comes down to if the camera's directly behind the player blocks what's going on. And then it's actually really uncomfortable to hit things. You actually want it off to the side a bit. You'll notice it's not directly behind her, it's slightly off to the side. So you can see a little better in front. But also, if I had it like directly behind her, then aiming up gets all weird. So having it about here actually makes it where she hits about straight. It's actually at a negative 23% angle. But when I was testing and shooting enemies, it was so much easier to shoot the enemies if I did it that way. In fact, I'll grab one of my enemy spawners and move over here. Why does enemy spawner not spawn anything? These are questions, which I do not have an answer currently. Yeah, it's supposed to spawn voodoo dolls and tiger kitties. Everything is the same. I think I'm too close. Yeah, I was too close. But, like, it's easy to shoot him at this point here. It's interesting, the damage thing is no longer showing up. Oh, it's just the, I haven't quite figured out how to make that work so that it actually shows perfectly each time. Like, it's really easy if you're not using the paper CD, but for some reason, it doesn't quite do what I want. Anyway. Yeah, because there's two different things here, that's why it was spawning weird. I need to make this variable. It is possible, I just don't quite know how yet. So, what I'm actually looking at probably doing today, I got rid of the HUD temporarily. Alright, so I'm gonna probably want like a current spell. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll do a current spell, just like I did in the other game. I'm just gonna have it select between those, which one, they use the same cast button for all of them, but there'll be a number key for each one, and then you'll select the one you want to use and then click the button when you want to use it. So let's add a new int. We'll call this current spell. I don't want a boolean, I will take an integer. Pick current spell. Let's go ahead and compile this. I'm going to set the default current spell to... I guess 1's fine. Let's just... Well, I'll start at 0. I thought about it, and then I realized that every array starts at 0, so I guess. Anyway, switch on integer. Alright, so what we're going to do here is space this out a bunch. Alright, so if it's not currently casting, we'll switch on int here. And 0 will in fact be me grabbing that like an idiot. Sure. No. No. I don't want to put that for every single one. We're going to do it like this instead. Yeah, that's much more. Then I don't have to do it once. And for number 1... Actually, I guess to be... Wait a second, I already started this. Wow. You know what? Don't mind me. I have a currently selected spell already. I have this really bad habit of going ooh shiny and going to the next thing. Alright, so I'm going to want to keep all those probably. Let's start it at 0, I guess. And then where is current selected spell at here? Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to migrate this over a bunch. We'll just do a jump to node for this as well, but I'm going to have a different node for this one. And then open up the anim graph here. Just migrating through my crap here. No copying jump node directly, huh? Fair enough. I guess we're just going to call this spell 2 for the moment. I don't know what spell I'm going to be making yet, so... I've already constructed another thing for this. Animation source. At least I thought I did. Did not make it yet. I guess not. Well, duplicate it. I don't want to do it twice if I don't have to. I'm not even using that particular... I am actually. It's literally what that one's supposed to be. So, I believe it's cast... Oh, cast 2 actually just wrote like that. Nice. What? I'm definitely going to have to restructure that animation so it's much faster, but that's okay. Nope. I have many animations that I might use. A lot of times I just keep deciding the animation isn't good enough and replacing it, but I've just left the other ones in there just in case I need a backup animation to act as a placeholder. You never know. It can happen. You know, Poppet's angry in this, but in the other one there, I realized I could actually make her, you know, have expressions and things, and make various things move around, like our hair and the rest of our body in general. Like, I should just do that. I don't know why I'm not doing that. It seems kind of dumb. Alright, so looks pretty correct to me. Unfortunately, that's just how it is, you know, weird. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's cast 2, I guess. I'm going to say that real fast. I'll play with my content browser here. Doot, 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 doot. Where did I put them? That thingy's there. Well, the best thing here is you can always click this and it'll browse to it in the content browser for you. They're all here. Nice. I left them down in the sprites instead of putting them in the flip books like where they should have been. We'll call this just cast 2. I still have a couple crappy animations here that I'm not using anymore, but I haven't made a new jump cast. I still have the horrible jump cast that was part of the original version of Poppet. Alright, so those are painfully slow and obviously not going to work in their current state. I think 80 is often about what I want. They look so funny. Sure, maybe 60. Okay, probably 60. Sure. We change them all at once using the bulk edit by property matrix. They're all 60, and I use the RFX material because that makes them always face the camera. These materials are wild. I, again, don't understand terribly much about it, but this wonderful person made this material. And then I added in the weather node so that the material could get wet. And you can do all kinds of crazy things with these materials, you know, if I understood what to do with them, but I don't. So I have a vague idea. Enough to cram this weather effects thingy in there, at least. I've made a couple changes to them, but I'm starting to learn. I haven't put too much time into it, so. Oh, that's right. We're doing a new type of input. I almost did the old type of input, but no. We're doing the new type. Because we're in the future now. So, input action. I spell 1. Let's see when the button is pressed. That's all I need for that. It was an incidental thing I learned that just turned out to be very valuable. So I spell... Sure. This is where you just tell it which things you want to trigger it with. It's cool, you can just click the keyboard here, or you can actually select which button you want it to do, from everything, from mouse to keyboards, game pads, touch screens, God knows what else. It's got your back. And you can do multiple ones if you want. Android things, Xbox One, Oculus Touch. Want to trigger with an Oculus Touch, thumbstick left, we got your back. I'm just going to hit 1 on the keyboard, though. You just click this and then click the key you want. It's very good. All right, now from this point on, 1 does what we need it to do. So cast. Oh, that was input action, right? Enhanced action events. I believe it's just this one. Yep. All right, so on pressed. Okay, maybe I should start it with 1. And there's a simple reason for why 1 is better than 0 in this regard. Look at the position of the keys on a keyboard. If you're going to, hit between the various keys, 0 is all the way over there. So 0 is a terrible choice. In hindsight, 0 is a terrible choice. Yeah. Set currently selected spell 1. Oh man. How rough. All right, let's redo this. 0 isn't going to do anything. This will be 2. Currently selected spell will default to 1. I'll sit there and put these in macros later and make it all nice and neat and all that crap. Sure. I was experimenting earlier with various things, but I'm just going to stick with what I was currently doing. I honestly could recycle a lot of this. Huh. But what I was actually going to do... Cast is a very poor choice of words to use in this engine, by the way. In hindsight, it's a very poor choice. Because you can cast to things and it gets them, so cast is not a good choice. No. It's okay now. I'll just drag you back to idle. So AS cast too. Time remaining. This way, once it gets below, 0.1 seconds remaining, it'll just enter the transition to the next thing. In hindsight, I need to go through and actually, I don't need the full animation. I only need apparently half of the animation. I didn't think about this at first, but there's this glorious thing where you can click these transitions and then make an animgraph for it that just plays at the you can play the animation backwards, so it'll return back to the idle anyway. So I can have way more frames for each animation. Like I can have it like be 60 frames just in one direction because I don't need to make the other 60 frames to put her back into like an idle position or anything. Or even better, then from that position I could have her go from like, the end of that cast into like a jump pose or something. So I'm gonna have to restructure all my animations once I realized how dumb I was doing it. It happens. All right, so we're jumping to spell 2 on this node here. Out of space in that? Out of space in that? I did. I'm probably just gonna cheese that stuff real fast. I could actually make a quick node for that. I might want to change the delays though. For now, I'm not going to worry about making it beautiful. I'm going to just do get it done method. And then it'll finish up going to the exact same location. How many other input action though? My understanding of input actions is not incredibly great. It's getting there. I'm working on it. Oh, how convenient. You just did the 2 for me. Huh. I don't know if you're going to be like that. Don't threaten me with a good time, Yui. Or do. Oh, yeah. Just saying. Oops. I realize by switching it over to 0 or over to 1, I no longer had any way to switch it to anything besides 1. So I was like, for this test, probably going to need this. Just maybe. Oh, it's spelled. I'm stupid. And if I want, I can print screen so that it shows. I'll print it. I can do that, and now it'll tell me exactly what it is when I switch. I should also remember to set this to 2. Do a quick save so I don't forget all that crap. I have to do it over. It doesn't really matter which particle I use. So I guess I'm using that, but I can just... I'm going to do a quick make a projectile, even though the projectile is probably just going to get replaced by a better one later. Call this magic shot, just so it's different enough that I don't have to look for a number at the end. Eventually I'm just going to have a parent one for all of them, but if there's one thing I learned when doing RPGMaker and doing dumb crap in it, it was that it was always best to make the simplest version of something first, even if it wasn't always the most efficient, just so you could get it there. Because once you had it made, it was really easy to make it way more efficient. But if you just started out trying to make the most efficient version possible, you'd spend way longer trying to get it to that point, because it's kind of hard to just in a vacuum come up with the most efficient version of anything. I'm just gonna do a different particle for it, so maybe it's an ice particle. What's this look like? When I tell you to go to the thingy, I actually want you to go to the thingy. There you go. That'll get the job done. Ooh, cool. And this is spawned off of 2, yep. So that one works. 2. Look, the direction's wrong. Also, why did it shoot this one here? Oh, never mind. It has the same explosion at the end. I get the sneaking suspicion that I put the directions wrong for the second animation. Just call me crazy on that one. I just think that's probably what happened. Honestly, I should probably just always design actual visuals while I do this, because I think the visuals are much more fun to watch than coding stuff. Though the coding stuff is cool to me. That's 6. That's 9. Also 6. Wait. Should be 8. Remember, I double checked it and decided it was fine, so just so you know, I was completely wrong. I think the only one that actually matters is like this one there, because I have it set to always target the camera when casting spells and things. And the character faces the camera unless you're pushing a direction, but it doesn't, it'll only shoot in that direction every time. Pew pew pew. Pew 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 pew. Pew pew pew. I even have a nice impact. Perfect. I'm going to open a second content browser. I was already open. I even did that. I'm still trying to figure out how to make it blow things up, because you can actually have it destroy the environment and things too, but I don't understand how to do that yet. I definitely have ideas. Those ideas are wrong. There's just no two ways about it. Those ideas are wrong. They're very wrong. That's okay. I can just type ice impact. Want that. It plays a sound for location. That's the best thing about getting a spawn location. Just tells you where to play it at too. You already have the information. Cool. Nice. Okay. Eventually I'm just going to have a particle that I'll drag this out, make a variable, and then there'll be a particle that I just use. And I'll just enter it as the variable there. So I'll be able to use the same code for everything instead of having to individually do this crap. Sounds. Do I even have sounds in this project right now? I'm gonna pause the music. I don't know. I might have brought sounds in. If not, I'm gonna pull my sound thingy in. No, one moment. One moment, please. That's where we go to the beautiful Epic Marketplace. 5.3 is coming out. The preview's already available. It's apparently amazing. I have 9 million games that are mostly just test games to see if something works. No, actually, I think I just want the FX. Add my ultimate thingy there to this one. This one, please. Oh, it's got to download 6.2 gigabytes of sounds. Yeah, when I go to actually package it up, it's not going to include all 6.2 gigabytes of sound. I'm not 100% clear on how I'm going to make it where I don't get the things that aren't being used or something. I guess you could try to migrate stuff out of the project. I don't know. There's probably some secret trick for optimizing it that I'm going to have to learn the hard way. I have so many VFX to go through, jeez. Most of these are just free. I think I gave them like $5 for the Ultimate SFX bundle. Which seems fair because, you know, there's like over 9,000 sounds, so okay. You can have $5. It's a freaking coffee. A gross coffee. God, ugh. Starbucks, disgusting. Yeah, that's exciting. I just wanted one sound. I guess to be fair, there is the Magic Spell Sound Pro thingy. I already had that downloaded. Just add it to the project. What does it matter, right? Oh, it's cute. I have to wait for the other one. Oh, oh. Animal farm sounds. Oh, geez. You have a tiger? Yeah, tiger. I realize that tigers aren't on farms, but I was hoping. As long as I have a goat noise, I'm good, right? Alright, I don't need that anymore. Well, I do, but not specifically for this. I have so many things to add here because I'm not 100% certain which way I want the paintings to go. I'm going to look at how that looks anyway because I swapped it out. I might actually just make the parent one right now and get it over with. That's actually a pretty cool little effect. Pew, 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 pew. I probably need to put a restrictor on how fast she can fire, to be honest, because none of the enemies actually have projectiles at this point, and look at how fast this is. I mean, like... I actually might just slow down her cast in general. Alright, so let's play a little game here. I think what we're going to do, I don't really know if I want to use those. I want to duplicate this code, though. If I convert this to a function, what happens exactly? It's just called return node. Weird. I didn't see it pop up, but that's okay. We'll just call... I'm trying to turn the music back on while I do this. Spawn projectile. Well, if I do that, this doesn't work the way I want it to, right? Because it's going to be different there, unless I change the variable there. I could set it over here and then recycle that code quite a bit. One moment, please. Context sensitive. Promote to variable. Projectile to spawn. Oh, this magic shot. Alright. Instead of having a specific one there, I'd see that, and now I can recycle that code. And then I could just ditch all this crap. I think I'm going to have this down more in the center. They all have a delay. They're all pretty similar delays, but I'm probably going to want to change the delay, I imagine. Maybe not, though. Nah, I probably will want to. I might be able to do this even better. Anyway, I'll think about it. I was like, I could probably just put them in this switch on inside of that, and then just have these in there, and not even have all these chains. It could just be this straight into the spawn projectile. It probably will be that eventually. Whatever. Again, you can always make the more complicated system later. So it works. Alright, so my sound should be available by now. Why did it appear under, though? It is done downloading, right? That's effects. Oh. Well, that's obnoxious. It's restricting, I can't send it to 5.2 directly to install it. It's okay, we have a backup solution. The backup solution and why I have a bunch of stupid little test projects is so I can just send it to little test projects and mess them up all I want, and I don't care. Because then I can just copy paste it right over. In theory. Who wants to add it? I believe in you. It's already downloaded it, so it shouldn't take that incredibly long, but we're not gonna let a little thing like, you know, them forgetting to update the version stop me. Yeah, right. I'm beyond that. Go ahead and copy paste it from one to the other real fast. Make sure I have the right version because I named two things exactly the same like an idiot. I mean, the only things that really need to be changed here are going to just have to be what the projectile does. I'm going to use the same enemy thing there. I'm going to eventually figure out the destroyable stuff. The environment stuff will be figured out too. I'll need the emitter and the sound played at the things. And that's about it. Yeah. All right. So maybe I'll do that right now. I'll just make the parent for them. I mean, technically this is effectively the parent. So we'll call this Ice Blast. Because that's what it looks like it was doing anyway on it. So let's make that there, and then I have to do a slight little dance here between which is which. And these, I'll just create another child. Sure, Magic Blast Child is fine. So the reason you do this is then you can actually have it, you make changes to the parent one and it makes changes to all the other ones there, and then you can make additional changes on top of that in the children's ones that are unique to just the child. So if you make a projectile with all the logic behind it of what it can hit and how much, you know, how it reacts to, like, you know, the destroyables, the environment, what it does when it destroys itself, these things, you don't got to do all that again. You just change, like, how much damage it does and what its particle is and stuff like that. All right, so if we're gonna do it that way, oh, that's not what I want. I want your particle system. I select it there, and with it selected, you can actually, well, did I even open it? I don't even know if I opened it. Now I'm making a new one. Doot, 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 doot. I can also have different everything for them, so it can just be much better. Oh, let me select the thing, and then you just click this, and it goes with whatever's currently selected and makes it the thing it uses. So this finds it, and this uses it. Important things. Also, I can make this light blue. Light color. Blue. Yeah. Alright, so we have that there. Let's grab the parent real fast. This is the parent, right? Oh, let's be smart and find that quickly. And then we're going to go back to my now many children that I am so proud of. Convert this to a variable. So promote to variable. We'll call this destruction sound. Sure. Promote to that too. Destruction particle. Nice spelling, buddy. Oosies. Perfect. All right. And now you'll see this has a destruction sound and a destruction particle just waiting. I mean, these ones are already set, I guess. That's fair. And then the Ice Blast now has them too. All right, this is the parent. I haven't picked one of those yet. There's ice something. Ice impact, sure. Let's go play with sounds. Oh, and just in case you're curious, when I copied it over from there, look, it works perfectly. Isn't that great? So, for some reason, they're like, you can't install it to 5.2. Derp. And I'm like, yeah, I can. Sure can. For those people who you know, are so terrified of a water level. Can have a diving choke, yep. Very important. I really do not wish to have any kind of anything like that. I hate underwater levels where you have to worry about breath things. Screw that. That sounds terrible. All those sounds, I don't think any of them are even going to work for what I want. But that's okay. There was a ultimate magic something or other too. I just also added, so I'm sure one of these probably has something useful. Is it? What was it called? I thought it was some sort of... What was it? Sound. Magic and... Oh, okay. And I can add this to the project, right? No. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Fine, I'll add it to that project. What do you think of that? Well, just gonna add it over to another one there and copy paste it right on over. How exciting. Look, there it is. Huh. Man, it's just weird how it can so easily be installed. I could have it emit this noise the whole time. No, I don't want to do that yet. I was like, there's a sound attenuation thing you can do, and I don't remember how it works. I mean, I could play a spell on launch, show a thing on launch. That's not terrible. Maybe something like that. Something short. No, this might be okay. One moment, please. Well, it spawns the sound on Poppet's thing. I guess technically it could play the sound in its own thing. That's probably not a bad idea. It makes Poppet's crap less obnoxious to deal with. Yeah, why not? We'll put the sound in here so I don't have to think about it. Will we? Will we really? Because all I really have to do that, and I'll just get the world location of the arrow. And I'll promote this to a variable. Cast sound, I suppose. That gives me all the right things there. All right. This is a sound cue, right? There we go. Sure. Of course, we're going to default to none because I don't want a particular default sound on that. And then we can just set it here. I haven't picked out a sound cast for this one yet. Soon, though. Soon. Technically, this could really all just be crammed right on in there, too, because I could just have a jump to node and use the node name as well. It could all just get stuffed in there. Oops. Nope. And we're just gonna do this and set it to, it's already set there. Good, good. Interesting. There's sound. Oh, hey Tinka, thanks for swinging by. And hopefully you can finish that work the teacher's given you very quickly. I'll probably still be streaming for a while yet, so if you get bored. As I vastly improve this glorious engine. I just changed the default value. That's stupid. Sometimes I make dumb decisions when I do my coding. And don't set the defaults. I guess while I'm at it, I might as well also pick one for fire too, right? That's fine. 2 it is. Fire spell 2. There should be a sound cue though for it. Cue? Why is it all the way at the bottom? Who picks the ordering on? All right. Magic Blast. And then I can spell really. So that's a child, and then Blast, I guess. Really, I just can't seem to type today. Sure. All right, so we got that. And then this is the parent. The destruction sound for this one, this is Magic Blast Child seems perfectly acceptable. Looking for the Ice Blast Child, sure. And for destruction sound, it's not bad. Boop. The particles are good. All right. I think it should all be good to go. I might turn down that overall music that's being played. Oh, I closed it like an idiot. That's also a plan you can do too. I'm gonna keep that one. Gonna go to characters here. Gonna go into the characters like a smart person. Poppet runs around with a music box. Very important. Maybe a little quieter. Yeah, the tiger kitties don't have all the animations yet. Like a death animation or anything. They just vanish. I need to work until these little thingies vanish if they've killed all the enemies. I'm gonna put something else as like a maybe even like an enemy spawner that you can kill in order to stop it from spawning enemies. I don't know. Also, I redid her idle animation. I probably should use that as well. I have made many changes recently, yes. We'll call this jump to node name. Jump name doesn't really quite cover what I'm looking to do. Probably. Let's let music play while I'm doing this. All right. I guess you can't run a delay in there? Did it not copy the delay? Well, that's interesting. I mean, I can't actually have delays inside of a function? Hmm. Learn something new every day. Oh. Well, that changes some things. I could make it a macro. Come here for a second, buddy. Oh, let's cast spell. Make it a little better here. Inputs, outputs. More importantly, can I have a delay? Sure can. There's like weird differences between the two that I don't 100% know yet, so yeah. That's output node. Sure. You can actually hit Q in order to straighten everything. Just don't do it all at once or this happens. Actually, it worked just fine that time. You can do that and it'll do things like that, and it's just awful. So sometimes it's really useful. Other times it's the dumbest thing you'll ever use. Happens. How many spells am I going to have here? I guess I'll test this first, see if it works. But then I'll figure in how many spells I actually am going to run here. That works fine. Oops. The mute button on keyboard. Could you imagine how long it would take to do this in RPGMaker? Jesus. How many extra plugins you'd require too? Or okay, so probably at least 5 spells. What did I have the RPGMaker version? So I had 7 of them, huh? Not really very comfortable for, if you're hitting WASD, it doesn't feel very comfortable to reach all the way to 7. I think 5 is about as comfortable as it gets. Then maybe I just have 5 spells, and then you can just equip the ones you want. I think that's probably better than having too many extras. And I'll probably get rid of all these extra weird things too. I kept the ghost form. I'll keep the block. I'll probably keep a potion thingy. Just go full Diablo where you have health and mana potions. But curing thingies don't seem that great. I don't know. I could put combos in. They actually had that. The ability to have combos if you want. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to combo cast spells, but possible maybe. Is this not want to move? Okay, I was just being dumb. Okay. We'll do 5 spells for now. I think that's reasonable. In all my testing, that seems about where I want it to be. I love that it just automatically increments the number at the end for me. It's wonderful. It didn't need to do that, and yet here it is. Just doing it anyway, because that's just how UE do. It doesn't care at all. Like, yep, got your back. I don't know why I'm actually sitting in this room testing. This room is like the least interesting room in the entire thing here, and just testing in like the ugliest room I got. I could literally be testing down at the start area where I actually have things. And it would have like the same effect. Add in the other spells here, or the other keys. Very easy. Well, let's do 3. Oh, well, they won't let me have multiples. I have to wait, and that sucks. Fine. I'll do it in this order. Jeez. Some people. Why is it zooming them all out like that? Sure. I'm sure there's like a way better way to do all this, because I really don't know the best way to do anything in this engine, but that's okay. I'll figure it out eventually. Anyone who does know what the engine can sit there and laugh at me and tell me how terrible I am at it. That's fine too. At least people won't be bored. I mean, with how much simpler this has gotten, I don't even think I need to do too much. Technically, all this should actually just be in here too. The only thing that's actually varied is this. I mean, technically, you could just cram the whole thing in there. And just have like one node, this cast does that, and then you could just double click the node to load it up and look inside it and have these things. It does make things a lot neater, and you don't end up with this weird problem of like your graphs all over the place. But I usually don't do that until I get out here. Huh. I usually don't do that until I get to farther in. If I'm going to do things like that, the organization always happens later. I don't really need it to say these anymore. I just needed to set this one thing, and that's basically it. I guess for now I'll put them all vertical, but I kind of hate it. That's the worst thing you're going to discover about this engine. The OCD is you sit there and move all these little nodes around to try to make it look nicer. It really is. I catch myself doing it all the time. Like, they're not perfect. They could be better. If they're all a bit off kilter here anyway. Whatever, I don't care. I'm going to change it all in a second anyway, I'm sure. They were all perfect, and then they weren't. I mean, technically, this whole system care could actually cover everything. I'm just going to make this spell 1. Just so they can all be easy. And I'm going to go to our Anim Blueprint and I'm going to rename this spell 1. I'm just going to put it like that so it looks nicer. He likes to put an underscore, evidently. Don't question why it does what it does. It's... UE knows what UE does. Everything else is just silly talk. I don't have animations for everything yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this all as placeholders, and I'll make new animations later. Okay, I really want to put them in the other order because it just kind of bugs me that it's not like that order. So I think I'm going to make them going downward. I locked the player in place, so it doesn't really matter for ever going to move. I am going to eventually have ones for jumping, though. So I'll probably want to go down to jump loop at some point as well with it. We'll get to see about that later. But technically it moves over here and it would restructure it like that, which would probably be a little better, honestly. And then I'll be able to just directly go over to it. That's probably the way I want to do it. If you haven't figured out with UE, it's really all about dragging things around grids. Very common thing you do in UE. You're just like, yep, I'm dragging around grids again. Yep. Let's make 3 jump nodes. Now this is I can't copy paste a jump node, which is weird to me that you can't copy paste a jump node, but sure. Spell 3. Just look at how fast it's getting set up though. I mean, anyone who watched me stream, you know, all that RPGMaker, look at how long that can. And look at how fast I'm just able to just cram this together like it's nothing. With my not even that great of knowledge with the engine. So much of the time is just saved because I don't have to type any syntax. I mean, I think that's probably the one thing that should be the biggest takeaway is you see how little I have to type. I'm just gonna copy the code directly out of this one as placeholders. Because I can recycle the animation and just have it spawn a different projectile. I can also rig it so that when it gets to the end, it has a different destruction for them too. So. You can't actually name these the same thing as the node thing, so I have to actually have a different name for them. It's kind of weird. But this whole thing is some guy's plugin, so... But notice how it's just completely integrated into UE, unlike RM where you can't integrate into the editor at all. For reasons that I do not understand. You'd think they'd want everyone to do all the work for them, but nope. Both are. They would prefer... You still do all the work, but they don't provide any support. Nice. really feel like half these should probably be inside of the thing itself. Well, I mean, the projectile that spawned, this really does seem like it should probably be inside of that. Like, I guess it could get its initial spawn point. And it really does seem like I should do that. Because the difference is that every time you reference something on a particular thing, that means that they're connected. Like, there's this giant web that goes with these things. And you'll see it becomes really bad with the players. You really want to avoid it by never directly referencing things if you can avoid it. Save real fast. Here. Let's see, how do we do this here? Reference viewer. This is the giveaway here. Like, this is all the things that the main character, BP Poppet, Blueprint Poppet, references. And you can get pretty in depth if you want. You can start to see, because anything that he's connecting to at any level, suddenly there they are, you know? So you really want to be a bit careful with that, because it can make your game get laggier and laggier the more things that load up with your character. So it can get pretty bad. She's referenced on a map. For some reason these things here reference her too. I don't know. I'm going to go through and change some of these. This was based off of an initial project I made, the first one I made, and I just did some tweaking to make it a little better. So who knows? But in hindsight, remembering that, this should not be a thing. So let's go to the parent. And we're going to do just event begin play. And we'll get world location. Get world transform. Get a reference to self. Get world transform. I guess the capsule world transform is just fine too. I should have done that one easier. Sure. Now we want to play sound. At location. I don't really need the full world transform, but you can also do this. You can just take one of these like pins here and you can split it. And the location is right here. Boop. We'll call this spawn sound. I guess in theory I could actually spawn everything in these. Like I could make this all very compact and make it so that Poppet's not referencing all these particles and sounds, which is probably the correct thing to do. Once again, this is why I was, saying I should do it this way, because then I should make the simple version and then start making it better and better. Because I will a lot easier to go, okay, this is slightly better, and just keep doing that as opposed to the other, which just doesn't work out so hot. I don't need this anymore. I like to put them on top of each other like little stacks. I don't know why, I just like it. The little like towers and everything. It's like my little code tower defense. It's very exciting. Alright. Let's save all that so all the children get it. But this is the and this is the Ice Blast one. Let me get the sound out of this. Sure. I do still need the node that it's going to and the projectile involved. For now. Until I figure out a better way to do it. Perfect. And so that's the wonderful thing here. Now, every single one of these, I just have to tell it what the actual sound is here, and it's a little thing, and then I don't need any other code for it. It's just all this code here, and I'm just changing a few things there. And I'll probably have different damage amounts, and then I can actually have a different effect that's played too. Which reminds me, if I'm going to do a different hit, I'll have a different effect here. I'm going to want to function. I think it's just custom event. On spray event? Or it's more like on hit, right? That's already technically this, though. But I don't want to add it to this specifically. So if I wanted to affect the thing, I mean, I know I could have make it do damage. That's easy. It's not a problem. It's already covered by target damaged. I guess technically at that point it would be part of target damaged. So it'd be the enemy parent that would handle it, not this. The projectile doesn't need to do anything. But I probably need another function that's going to send over an effect. I want to see something here. Keep the sounds out of my ears for a second here. They're both on sounds, okay. I'm looking for a name. Hmm. Well, it's obviously damaging them. Oh. Probably hope I connected it up to the line, right? I was like, this should be so simple. What did I do wrong? Probably connected to the line. Just saying. Good idea. So it's got a different number every time. Which means that that is not going to help. I could have it send over a tag. That'd work. First, I'll give it the tag projectile. They should all have that. I don't know if it's going to be necessary at some point to have that information available, but I just changed on one file, so it's not that bad. I should probably just rename Magic Blast to Fireball. But I might change the effect and have... Actually, I probably will, because I'm probably going to have a Firewall ability anyway. It's just the original tutorial I did. I grabbed those for it and I didn't change it. Okay, and then let's play with interfaces. I love me some interfaces. Actor tags. Do I want to give it every tag? I guess I can give it every tag. It might prove handy to do that. I guess I'll do it. You fix the error by just hitting refresh nodes, by the way. Hmm. I need to get tags. Why in the world is it not have all those? Tags. Just made it out. It's the same thing. Okay. Hmm. It says this is what? It doesn't have to be tags, does it? It can just be names. I'm smart. Don't mind me. Save it so they all have it. Cool. Do I not need anything but the tags thing? Do I not need to connect it to self? No, I'm just curious. Why'd you fail to compile, little buddy? Ow, friend. Okay, this is not even want to use anyone. Well, screw that one then. It's just reference in memory. It's fine. Yui doesn't like to let go. I haven't actually put up the stream health thingy, which I don't always pay attention to, but probably should pay more attention to than I was doing. Interesting. That's not the information I was looking for at all. And that's because I didn't do this. Instead, that's what I should be doing, not this. does say Magic Blast. Sort of, sometimes. How do I do this? I'm curious. A lot of this is a learning experience to see how to do things, so we'll also do this and see if it's actually incrementing this or not. I don't know if it does, so we'll find out. Yeah, sprint string is basically console log. Oh wait, don't do that. I want it to run these strings, and then when it's done going through the whole thing, then it does that. It is doing it. It just runs the full thing. I don't have to increment it. I was wondering if I was going to have that +1 at each loop just to see if it actually did something, but no. Turns out not really. Good times. Oh yes. Maybe the best times. It's time to adjust my desk to a sitting position. Standing for almost 2 hours. 1 second. All right. So now we know it has this. So I'm going to probably make a thing for effects specifically. We'll do contains tag. Or contains item, I guess, is what it was. Actually, am I gonna have melee weapons? Is this a thing that I need to even include? Or I can just do it for each and then just switch on each tag there. Yeah, let's do that. So just like switch on, I believe name will work, right? Those are names. And oh, size blast. I'm probably gonna change some names, maybe. I don't know. Sure. I don't need a contains notes, so I'm just gonna run through the full loop. It doesn't matter. Do nothing on that. All right, so we'll have like enemy frozen is a thing, right? Add custom event. There goes enemy. Enemy frozen's not terrible. I could do enemy stopped as well. Either's fine. Guess I'm gonna handle all their status ailments. Status ailment. We'll make it green because I always think, whenever I think status ailment, I always immediately think poison, even though I'm making freeze first. But okay. Poisoned. I thought, who copied it? So I renamed it so it doesn't cause an error. Until you change the name, I'm going to leave the warning there, even though the name no longer matches, and it shouldn't be a problem. Sometimes UE's a little too helpful. You have to tell it to stop. Stop helping so much. What's your problem, UE? Why you gotta be so helpful? No. I guess I'll make one for each of these, right? I'm not sure if this is faster dealing with all the warning messages or if it's better to just type custom event, one of the two. What was the other one I needed? I'll probably also have one for if they're regenerating and things like that too, but I'm not adding in that yet, so not that necessary. I thought there was one more status ailment I was thinking of, and I've forgotten what it was. Oh well, I'll make it later. When in doubt, make it later. Made him start separating these out a little better, probably. We'll call this frozen time. It can just be an integer. I think this will just be on their event tick, right? I guess I could boolean it and then have a timer too, though I could just have the timers greater than 0. It's also an option. Here. Frozen time greater than 0. gonna make this better in general here. I could just take this. Well, I mean, they're all gonna have a movement thing. So I might eventually do an AI thing, but it's probably a lot easier to just do this here. Sure. Curious. If I put this information here, does it overwrite the parent version? Again, I'm just trying to figure out how these work, so. Oh, wait, you can't do delays. I guess I could just do the movement separate. I don't really need to do it on the main thing anyway. No, I have a better idea. I'm gonna do the movement separately anyway, so I think I'm gonna do this a bit different here. Let's not do this. Gotta compile the parent first. Now I change it back to movement. Okay, so we have that. And then what am I doing this one here? Function. This function is going to be, I don't know, could I just add it to wellness check? Maybe, actually. I don't see why not, right? Because wellness check sits there and basically checks to see if they're actually able to act and gets used all over the place. Kind of all over the place. Mostly directly in the other ones here when they wellness check to see if they can do anything. Yeah. That makes sense, just put it in wellness check. Or sending the other dolls over for a wellness check. Very important. So, let's make some branches. Oh, hey, Christarium, can't talk now. Making a game right now too? Really? What you making? Oh my god. Inquiring minds would like to know. Nice, nice. You making it in UE? You making it in Unity? You making it in RPGMaker? Only in this stream do we ask questions like that. It's only funny because I spent over 100 streams making games in RPGMaker. So anyone who's watched, they know. They know. So what's your horror game about? Yeah, sure. One second. Let me turn everything back on so that it's better set for play mode and not for edit mode. Because the nav mesh tends to make things take forever to do anything. So I need to add a nav mesh back to the map. We'll say 1,000, I guess. I don't know. Sure. Oh yeah. Well, glad you found it, man. I'm waiting for a second for it to build the navigation. It's at like 19,000, 18,000, 17,000. I definitely made the navigation probably too big. Not while I'm streaming, I don't, but I got a Discord you can join if you want to chat. That's true. In fact, I don't even know why I didn't bother to pin that at the top. 1 second, now we'll get that. Do. Discord invites. Yeah, this project has been going for I don't know, like 3 weeks or something. So I'm learning the engine myself. But actually, before I start doing this, let me turn this other music off. I'm using paper ZD in order to use 2D sprites. And currently building things here. It's got a lot to go. Like, it's not very far along. But mostly made a big map like that. Oh, nice. Cool. Well, thanks. We chat all the time. Yep, I have those going on. I was originally going to do 3D models, but then I discovered that takes a long time. Too long for me. Oh, I can't jump apparently, don't mind me. I actually have a pretty big level going on. I was just working on it like yesterday. Most of this world was made yesterday, so. And it is a pretty big. I gave her the ability to turn to a ghost and fly around temporarily. Probably gonna have to nerf it. It's a little too overpowered. The landscape is currently, well, it's work in progress. It was literally made yesterday, so. Yeah, I'm trying to teach myself. I actually made a version of this in RPGMaker of all things, and that's the running joke. And then I moved to Unreal Engine, and Unreal Engine's wonderful. Oh my god. It's so good. Yeah, I do all the graphics too, so I'm kind of that guy. Ah yes, compiling shaders. The great enemy of everything. You will hate your life every time you have to wait for a new thing to compile. But I mean, if you have a fast enough computer, it's not that bad. I don't know. UE4, when I tested it like a million years ago, I loaded up a test project that was like 10 gigabytes. And that thing took like 3 hours to compile. UE4 was really slow. Oh, that's not too bad. That's like better than when I think I had a 1060 when I tried that, so it was bad news. It was the saddest thing I'd ever seen. But yeah. Oops, I fell off the world. Okay, I can fly back up. I was playing with procedural generation earlier. Nice, nice. A definite upgrade, to say the least. Fly over here. I haven't had anything in this yet, but I have this giant map you can go explore. But here's the crazy thing. All this like grass and trees, this is all procedural generation. I didn't put any of this here. Now, sometimes your graphics card software can tell you which one it is directly without having to open up the case and look. Alright, there's an error going on. Sure. I was working on doing cartoon water and everything earlier too, for that matter. I'm going to click on the landscape so I don't have to look at the rain. Let me tell you, when you click on the weather, it's a little weird. I fell somewhere down here, real far. Up, 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 up. Ooh, get up. You can do it, buddy. Ow, friend. Okay, we're not starting there then. I need a procedural mesh real fast. ECG graph. There we go. There, that'll show me where it is. It's weird. In the editor, it's so dark, but in the game, it's not that dark. Oh, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, I was playing with cartoon water. That's where that thumbnail came from. Yeah, the procedural generation is not always the best, as you can see. Oh, thanks. Yeah, once I learned that I didn't actually need to deal with 3D models and I could get away with doing 2D sprites, it changed a lot, because if you look, she's actually, you know, flat. She's a sprite. I'll probably lock the camera so they can't really make it go that high. But, it makes the overhead much lower. Isn't that cool? You could totally get it. Yeah, see? She doesn't look like a sprite. But you don't know it until you go, oh, wait a second. She's a sprite. She's flat. They all are. Yeah, it's a thing that Square Enix was doing with a lot of their stuff. They're putting sprites in their games because it's so much faster to work with than models. And there's so much, you know, they require a lot less, like, space, resources, everything. Because, I mean, Puppeteer is a real model, the main character here. I have her in Daz. It's just, pretty much, she's flat. That she is. That she is. But you can do, like, I'll even show you with this thing here. It's going to snow for a while. We'll make it bright out. So, why'd I do that? Don't do that. That's stupid. Do this. And now it's snowing. Woohoo! And she leaves trails in the snow. Yay! Oh no, I found it funny. I guess you didn't hear me laugh or something. You are accurate. She is in fact flat. Yes, yes indeed. But yeah, I've been playing around with all these things here, and but I mean, it's a joke where she, you know, she's flat as a character, but you know, usually when you call a woman flat, you know, like, you know, that means she's like not very well endowed. Yeah. So yeah, I got it. That's why I laughed. It's funny because she's a sprite. Yeah, we're pretty laid back here. Random jokes are great. I'm down for whatever. You're not gonna offend me. Don't worry about it. I appreciate a good joke and people to chat with as well. Yes. Sometimes I get a little distracted and, you know, might not be paying attention all the time. That's a problem, but overall, nice, nice. We'll play the game in space. It's snowing in space. Why is it snowing in space? I don't know. Have the Aurora Borealis. Guess it's not an option there. No, it's all in space. Oh my god. I love this weather thing. It's great. I don't really want it to be in space. I'm just kidding about that. That seems terrible. You're an Aurora Borealis. I also made a platform to move around on too. It's set on as slow as humanly possible. And it's about to ram into a tree. Don't question it. Bonk. Like, no, there's a tree in the way. When I made it, there was not a tree there. Procedurally generated a tree there. It follows a spline. I'm basically making some sort of, you know, hybrid RPG platformer thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm making something. Don't mind me. Something is happening here. I like Alice Madness Returns, those kinds of games, you know, the action-adventure things, but they're really hard for us indie dev to make. Usually you need like a AAA studio to pull that off, so I'm going to try to make something possible. We're going to do the long way around, I guess. Oh yeah, well, I didn't anticipate adding in things here, but I can make go around things there. Oh, we'll set a spline point here, and it goes whoop, right around that. Nice. And we'll set its speed much faster. This is 0. Which I think is 0 an option? I don't remember. Yeah. Told you, shaders are your enemy. You're gonna discover it. Woohoo! Look at it go. Confused, it doesn't know where it's going. Oh no! Shafted! That was like a top 10 anime betrayal right about there. I've been betrayed. I wonder why I did that. I don't know. Top 10 anime betrayal was pretty funny though. I was like, well, I see where this is going. I don't actually know why I need this particular thing, but it's just into the ground. That isn't going to work. Smart. I'm going to use it as a way to get down to the lake, just cause. It's definitely not cooperative. It does not like me. Should set it up to laugh when it falls off or something like that. There we go. It's like a one-way and then it goes back, I think. Does it go back? Should go back. Yeah, okay, it does. I might do that. I mean, the actual game is played in, like, you know, the world's most haunted attic. It's full of like all haunted toys and everything like that. But there's like a ghost who lives in paintings, and you can travel into the paintings to go to various things, to travel to portions of the attic you can't normally get to. And that's why I have these strange worlds inside these things, and why when you first start it, you run through a painting. So due to these areas, so I can have a witch thing in here. I can have a witch toy. I mean, Poppet's a witch toy. Yeah. That is why I have... It's kind of hard to find it because everything's so dark. And that is why I have Tinka here, the ghost that lives in the paintings. I don't know, Mike. Attack on Platform seemed to be pretty much a top 10 anime betrayal right about there. It definitely mocked me endlessly. I was going to fix this. I think I could run between the various paintings, but she's trapped there. We can fix that. Make it bright. That's why I have it set so bright like this, so that I can just see and all these things. I don't know why the editor is so much darker. I'm going to delete the nav mesh again, I guess. No, actually, do I have to delete it? Or do I just want to set its location so high that it doesn't matter? Does that even help? Because if you do that, then you move it back down, you'll have to redo all the things again. Just delete it and add it back later. Oh, nice. You downloaded the horror engine? Pretty certain I have that one. as well, I understand. You're pretty much, Mike, it doesn't have a soundtrack yet, but one day, platform will have its own soundtrack. And then a reckoning will happen as the battle with platform truly begins. Oh, it jerks back and forth like that. We landscaping? Just need it to be out of there so she can get through, but I don't want it to be where the player can actually get through there either. That should be acceptable. No grass. There not be grass inside. That's weird. I was going to finish this so then she could actually have the paintings that tell the story as you're going through it. I need to actually put better paintings in here too. I had the wrong ones. But I was going to take all the paintings from the other game. In fact, I'm going to grab those right now. One moment, please. That goes out of there. I'm just going through the various files on the computer to grab them real fast, and then I will drag them right back over. Alright, so let's get the content browser going here. I'm going to keep everything that I made in here so it's easier to tell everything apart. Paintings. Some of it I'm probably going to just actually build it, but I'm just going to move them all in here for now. Oh yeah, Horror Engine's pretty much literally a horror game in a can. You don't gotta do anything special other than make content. Ah yes, the great drawback to all these things. They always sound so great until you realize you still have to make content. The content doesn't make itself. The UI's really good at making content. I'm not gonna lie, it really is. A lot of these paintings aren't going to be necessary, but that's fine. No, I don't want to get into any kind of random calls like this. One, I don't usually like doing that while I'm on stream because I already get distracted enough, but also I've already got my computer running so many things. I don't think I want to make it run additional things. But I mean, like after the stream, maybe, I don't know. If not, like, you know, immediately, like maybe tomorrow or something like that. It's like 3 a.m. for me right now, so after the stream, I might not actually want to do a whole lot. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, the next day I probably would. You know, it's just typically speaking, I end up a little wiped after a while. I think that's all the paintings. I'm just grabbing from all the original RPGMaker files that I had. But I mean, you can also share things in the Discord, things like that too, and you know, you can also there's like a streaming option in the Discord. You can just do it from the live channels as well, or from the voice channels. All right, so there's that. All right, so there's that. Originally, I had a setup where it was telling the initial story by having Tinka kind of walk along the paintings. So I'm actually gonna design this area different because I'm gonna have an actual attic type of area, and then it's going to go into an actual level area, which kind of means this area probably doesn't need to be anywhere near as big as it is. I'm gonna think about that, how that works. Whenever I'm thinking about stuff, I usually... Wait, you went in there and you hate horror games? What? I don't understand. Why would you want to make a horror game if you hate them? That's weird. I don't understand. That's so strange. I thought of turning this into a horror game, but it's more of a macabre. You know, it's just like it's more like Coraline or Tim Burton kind of thing than it is horror. Why am I flat? That's terrible. It's a little laggy. You know what's probably doing it? The procedural generation stuff. Huh. That might be the case. I suppose that's fair. It's the Batman theory, where, you know, Batman was afraid of bats, and that's why Batman became Batman. I forgot which Batman he actually said that in, but I was like, huh, I guess that's fair. I think I need to get rid of these PCG graphs. They're neat, but my god, they're just so heavy. There's probably a way to fix that, but I don't want to deal with it yet, so screw it. Back to landscape mode. Yeah, look how much faster that is, Jesus. Well, which definitely should. They also have the benefit of being very attractive to streamers because they can react to them. I mean, I've seen Markiplier play some like super simple indie horror games. I'm just like, you know, there's like way better. No, you're just playing that. Okay, looks like someone made that in an afternoon, but okay. So I mean, people play them. This looks awful. Already have the texture set. Cool. Convenient. Can you hydro based on a picture? I think you can, right? Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I'll check it out. Maybe even on stream potentially. It would not be the first game I played on stream. Yes. That reminds me, I gotta play the some other game someone released in my posted in my Discord. I knew I forgot something. I think Flatten actually does a slightly better job of making these look a little more randomized. A little less ridiculous and a little more good times. Erosion's a little weird. I don't know if I like erosion that much. It's okay, I guess. I'm just trying to get these weird, ugly tops off of things because, you know, they just look all artifacty and weird, you know. Slightly weaker tool. There's definitely an advantage to using the landscapes in this because you get a whole bunch of content where you don't have to actually make it all. Like, you don't have to lay out the level or anything. You just kind of warp one giant thing around and drop some things on it, and you don't have to do anything special. It's very nice. Do I want him to go over here at all? I don't think so. I think it's just going to be all background. Someone could look a little nice for him. Means I probably should go along and flatten some of these areas so that they're a little harder to get up. I'm definitely losing steam, no doubt. Like, I definitely am getting that long day vibe. It's probably because I slept 5 hours. It was like, I think 4 hours and then 1 hour, and that was it. I was like, well, I guess I'm up. Guys, I'm up. I think I just need to lay out this level as well as I can. I don't even know why I'm sitting there making this look better when I don't need to yet. I think I actually want to make some sort of fun little area over here that's just different. So let's make this stronger, I think. Increase the tool size a bit. I don't know if I need a random blood thing either, per se. Maybe. But I guess having a blood pool is kind of cool. I mean, there is supposed to be a dark circus thing going on. I haven't put all the circus stuff in place yet. That's going to kind of cover everything and make it look a lot cooler, so... But I may just call it at this point, because... Man. I'm already way tired. I don't know. I want to think in terms of level design. Like, actually, you basically want like arena, and then platforming or puzzle section, and then like arena, and then platforming or puzzle section, and so on down the line. I have no idea why this particular one does what it does right there. It's an issue with the water system, which is kind of a bit broken in general. Water always looks nice, and it's kind of a cheesy, easy way to make things look good, so put a thing back here so that it looks all like there's something cool to do there. I can kind of sculpt this up so that it's harder to see. Over it. We're supposed to be building upwards, so the base ground is going to be higher in general. Camera set to so slow. Oh my god. I'll finish my little blood lake over here. It's supposed to be an evil circus type of thing, so we really don't want it to be totally nice and wonderful. Total strength higher, bigger number. Dump this back a little bit because I'll probably make the water lethal in all honesty. And by lethal, I mean it'll just respawn you back at whatever spawn point system I have set up. I'm okay with this being over to the side here. Get more of a view of the Blood Lake. I wish the river system worked okay, but you can just cheat and use the lake system. It's fine. It ain't great, but it does work. I might move this whole top up here and then have like the welcome circus and just make this like a lake. I like that idea. If I'm doing that, I'm gonna flatten it, right? We switch over to this, grab this thingy, boop, move it up. Moving it up, boys. Moving on up. The problem is these little things that stick out of the sides, the yellow stakes, stick very far out, which means I'm gonna need to account for that. Now, there is a hole in the top. I could actually run obstacles to get to the top of it. I might do that. The puzzle is how to get out of the top and then run off and go this way. I hate that idea. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'm going to grab all this crap here. That's the nice thing about this is I can sit there and just near the end of it, near the end of my streams, just sit there and do various art thingies and not have to worry about it. Like I don't got to code, I can just start putting things in places, and it's not like RM where I have to code to put things in places too. Nope, you just kind of drag it around, all fun. No problem. Isn't it an amazing engine? You can do anything you want with it. It's so cool. Gonna make a little circus up here. It's gonna be real fun and cool. And I'm gonna have a lake of blood below it because that's what I need to have in my game. It's important. I don't know why it's important, but it's important. Oops. We're gonna have something else to replace these bridges for purposes of platforming, but for now they're just gonna be in place, and I'll put something else there later. It's like an idea of about where I want stuff to be. All right, back to landscaping here. That reminds me, there's an enemy spawner down here. Grab that. Okay, so they'll spawn there, and then let's grab my lake of blood here. What did that just do? That's such a weird look to it. I don't understand why it is had weird little portions sticking out like that, but okay. Sure. That looks horrible. Excellent, excellent. Erosion. All right, smaller tool here. Okay. I might put some light down by the thing here too. Actually, that looks weird in the water. Why does it look weird? It's like there's a line in the lake. I could just have two lakes. It doesn't gotta be that big, I guess. Let's do that. That's weird. I don't know if I like that. It's gonna not angle correctly either. What is it doing? Why does it have a thing that's off to the side there? That's weird. I don't know. Might be like a size limitation almost. Oh no, this one's huge and it doesn't have a problem. It's much bigger than this one. Just have two, I guess. You know, alt? No. Does that get rid of the weird line? That's kind of high up. I don't think it needs to be that high up. I don't want to wait for it to fall. Yep, the weird line is gone. I know I have a way to jump up to that. I don't know why these don't block the water. They're supposed to. There's got to be something where it's just things aren't default blocking it. Ugh. It's been almost 3 hours. I was only going to do 2 hours, but you know, here I am on the third one. So I think I'm going to call it tonight. Thanks to anyone watching. YouTube doesn't always say, and anyone who watches in the future, thanks to them. Oh, you're actually still watching. YouTube's like 0 people are watching. Oh, yeah. I'll probably still be over on the Discord for a little while, but I'm going to get some food and then probably pass out. But yeah, thanks for swinging by, and I'll catch you in the Discord. Yeah, YouTube is always wrong. Alright, oh. Catch you later.